What's up, everybody? We're back with Fifth Down Territory presented by StadiumRant. I'm Tyler. There's Louie. Bahookie's here as well. Shane is a little busy tonight, so we're just going to roll with the three-man crew here, and we'll get it started off. What the heck happened to the Cincinnati Bengals, guys? Like, what I get Burrow had a calf injury, but, doesn't seem like anything's working right for them right now. Blake, what do you got to say?
They gotta find an answer soon. I'm still not writing them off. I'm gonna say spoiler alert. I'm picking them again this week. And honestly, I don't feel that great about it going to Arizona. And in spite of the fact of what everyone has said about Arizona all off season, they played every game hard. You can say that they haven't really been blown out. I guess the Niners did beat them by 19, but. We've seen we've seen teams lose worse than the Niners.
This is true. Louie, what do you think there?
Yeah, I don't know what to say other than I feel like a lot of it rests on Burrow and the offense. Like I watched a lot of tape. I have a couple good lines here. Can I just spit those real quick?
Go for it.
It's Joe Burley walking on the field. It's Joey B minus.
Okay.
I had prep for this week. Yeah, I
don't
think
it's cook.
Those are bars.
I don't think it's all Joe's fault. There's a couple plays that I watched on the replay, and he's hot. Like unblocked rusher coming right off, the far gap. But there's literally no check down. Like they kept going max protect-ish, but then they were splitting dudes weird. And so some guys were just getting bottled up right near the A gap. And they weren't blocking anybody. So to be honest, at this point, I think you have to make a trade for a competent backup QB and sit Burrow for 2 weeks if you want any chance of sneaking into playoffs. You can't keep rolling this product out there. He's going to get hurt again, and then you're going to be worse off than if you let him sit and heal. He just can't move in the pocket. You see him throwing off the wrong foot, all kinds of mechanical stuff going on there. So, and the O-line looks never.
Yeah, they look washed. O-line looks washed. Honestly, it feels like Jamar Chase and him just aren't really on the same page right now. It feels like they're a two seconds off of their timing, which is something we've never really seen out of them before since they've kind of had that chemistry from college. So it's really interesting to see how that kind of unfolds. Second thing I kind of want to bring up, we posted it on Twitter. Or I posted it on Twitter earlier today. Why can't these teams get the football to the players that they acquire in the offseason as big market players? Why can't I get you got the classic Arthur Smith lines we don't care about your fantasy football lineups. Oh, well, I mean, do you care about your own football team success? Because those two things go hand in hand. When you draft a player like Bijan Robinson, the 8th overall spot, you should probably give him more than 14 carries. And every time you see him get 8 to 12 yards a touch, then you're oh no, we want Tyler Algier in here to go get the 2 yards that we just didn't really, it's it's the same kind of thing. I get Monty had a great game on Thursday night, but he's still got a 3.4 yards per carry. And Jahmyr Gibbs is rocking a 7 yard per carry type of stat there. I get that he has less carries, but he's more explosive on these carries. And then you add in the fact that you see the video of Brad Holmes banging the table when they drafted that guy. You really thought that they were going to utilize him in a correct way. Now I get that the Falcons are different from the Lions. They have different records right now, but it's a similar issue. You use big capital, you spend big money, you make a big trade to bring these big names in there, and then you using Darren Waller as a blocking tight end instead of Daniel Bellinger. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. Who wants to start on that? Then we can get into our game picks.
I mean, I think I see both sides. The Niners acquired CMC last year, and they're just feeding that man, and it's paying off. We'll see if his health can sustain, but right now he looks like a purely unstoppable force. I just think it's the old adage of do you want youth or do you want experience? And that's like these playoff teams, they're not looking for mistakes that are going to cost them wins that they feel like they need on their schedule. That's to me what the Lions situation is. They're not running Gibbs because they don't have to run Gibbs. They know Monty's not going to turn the ball over. They don't care if he churns out 2.5 yards a carry. Like they're winning games.
Yeah.
The Falcons probably need to have the opposite viewpoint. Like you're not winning games. You're in a crappy division. The Buccaneers are not as good as people think they are. Like you can still make this, but you have to make some fundamental changes. Like time to bench Ritter, time to see what Heineke's got. He's played good before, and time to let Bijan be the featured piece of his offense. Like why not?
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree there. Bahookie, what do you think? Oh, sorry. You still going?
Yeah, I just have one. Like the Texans are an example of like the full youth movement to me. Like they sold a lot of pieces. They have a lot of youth on this roster, and it definitely cost them games. It has cost them games in the past. But now you see the fruits of those labor where it's like they're dropping 37 points a week. And you have some of these offenses with huge upside players like Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and they can't score 18. And it's like, doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, when Jonnu Smith is out targeting and out yardaging Kyle Pitts, you got an offensive scheme issue. All right, you got an offensive scheme issue. Blake, what do you want to say?
Yeah, you guys touched on a lot of really good players. I think this isn't just those teams, but yeah, Darren Waller was a good one who we still haven't seen get acclimated. I think the Bears have had an issue. It looks like they're finally starting to get DJ Moore a little more used in the offense, but still not to the point you would expect with kind of like what they gave up for him. And Chase Claypool is going to be like inactive now, and that turned out to be the second overall pick, who turned into Joey Porter Jr. And now like Chase Claypool isn't even going to be active in their lineup. I really don't know what is going on there. I thought their GM was doing, but it doesn't seem like their GM and head coach are on the same page at all. And the Bills have had similar issues with the same thing. Unfortunately, Nyheim Hines had the jet ski accident and is out this year. But last year, we traded, Zach Moss and a 6th round pick for him. And we're like all excited because, all the different things he can do. And outside of him, like returning kicks, we really didn't I think he had like 20 touches in our offense. And now I feel like we're having that same kind of conversation with Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox has still been pretty good. We've been feeding Dalton Kincaid a little bit, but I think that's the next step for our offense, is to really start to feed him and kind of spread the defense out even more. So I think it's just something that unfortunately takes time. You want to throw it in there, but you got to add things. You got to add things like week by week. You can't just like throw in like a whole new section,
You can. You just have to be. You can't be a coward.
You have to be Sean. You have to be Sean McVay. Sean McVay knows how to, he gets his guys the ball, like Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams. He gets them the ball, and they move the football, and they're scoring. They look good. They look,
Is Cooper Kupp back this week? How much longer is he out for?
To be honest, they're winning games. Like, if there's any question, I think they still sit him. I mean, you're against the Eagles this week. I don't know if you're winning that game either way, but it's not like they're really hurting for wide receiver help right now.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting game. I'm looking forward to talking about that one, actually.
For sure.
Anybody can stop the tush push. Sean McVay, I don't even know what he's going to do. Subbing defensive tackles.
It's easy. You just clone Aaron Donald, and then you put one Aaron Donald in each A gap, and then you might have a chance.
So, or you just, it's not stopping the tush push. It's stopping the tush push with Jalen Hurts and an offensive line. Because I've seen numerous other teams try this, including my own, unsuccessfully. And it's like, guess what, guys? Mac Jones doesn't squat 650 pounds. He can't run the tush push like that. Like,
we also have to talk about the fact that the Giants, on top of just sucking in general, ran that play on 4th and 1, didn't get it, and hurt 2 starters in the process.
They're on primetime again in 2 weeks in Buffalo on Sunday.
Flex that game. We're begging.
Flex it out.
Flex.
I wish they could flex out Thursday night football.
I will enjoy watching it, but I don't know about any other fan base.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna enjoy that stomping. Oh, hi, buddy. Hi.
All right, we ready to
Want
get
to get into it?
Let's
Yeah,
get
let's do
into it. All right, week 5, Louie Redemption Week. Here we go.
So what are our scores at right now? You guys
you're
are tied?
You're up by 5. What was Shane's score?
39 and 25.
Dang it.
So
Tied
we're
for
all
last.
right
Then
there.
you're with
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah, me and Shane were I'm pretty sure started out the first week at the bottom 2.
The risky
Yeah,
picks paid off.
How the turntables.
Yeah, you've come out hot 11-5, and then 14-2 in the last 3 weeks. I've just been a straight 9-7 gang since week 2. So looking to improve here. So yeah, let's get into it.
Sounds like the post Brady Patriots.
The post Brady Patriots are actually, if you take out wins against the Jets, they're 19-29.
Wow, that's a stat.
So that's a stat.
But they're undefeated against the Jets. So how
yes,
many wins
they are.
How many games against the Jets is that?
6, 7,
25 and 29, or
it's only been 7. Feels like Brady left longer ago, but I guess maybe
yeah, I know. Time is slowed down. Can you take that away from him?
All right,
time is slowed down.
So Thursday night football, it's going to be an absolute classic.
This should get flexed.
The Cowboys pick'ems. Well,
Nolan always brings the great comments. Yeah, Thursday night disaster class. Bears at Commanders, I think. At Commanders.
Commanders are home.
Only Washington fans are excited about this game. I think the only thing that Bears fans are looking forward to at this point is the sweet release of death. So pray for Bears fans. We've been there, brothers. We know. Blake, you want to start us off here?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like after this Bears offseason, they made a bunch of moves. They spent a bunch of money. They get a bunch of picks after trading back, and there's they were so bad. Like they can't be any worse, right? They have to be better. I'm taking the Commanders in this game. And Sam Howell, this is your get right opportunity. Get your confidence back. We'll see. I have no, like I was saying, I have no idea what the Commanders are doing, or the Bears are doing rather. I don't know what they're doing within their wide receiver room. They're making these moves, and I just have no idea. The Commanders still have some work to do, but you can at least kind of see like where they're going and what their identity is.
I want to pick the Bears here because I thought that they actually did look really good for most of that game on offense. I thought Justin Fields thought he was going to take that kind of progressive step forward in that game until the middle of the fourth quarter there when everything went to shit. And but I don't think that their offensive line can hold up against the talent that Washington has in their front seven. I think Fields going to be running for his life all game. So yeah, I am going to pick Washington at home, but it's a lot closer than what everybody thinks it's going to be, in my opinion. Louie, what do you think?
I'm also taking the Commanders. I just think it's a defensive mismatch. Like, even if the Bears only get stopped once, I think that's more times than the Bears defense is going to stop Washington's offense, to be honest. Like, we're talking about a team that took the Eagles to overtime. And like, if they can't beat the Broncos, who look like they have no idea what they're doing, just learned how to play football last week. They dropped 28 on the Broncos. which I would consider to be one of the worst defenses in the league right now. And I don't consider the Commanders to be that. So, yeah, not hopeful. Taking Commanders by probably 5. Moving on to the Jags-Bills game. I'm taking the Bills here. I think the Jags still just like Calvin Ridley does not look as elite as everyone told me he was going to. So for all you schmucks who hammered him in fantasy, you can
I'm here. I'm curious to hear what Lamb's prediction is.
You can enjoy the fruits of your labor there. T-Law looks fine. Walker Little's back this week too, I think. So, maybe you'll see something there. Again, the secondary is not as good as people said it was going to be. A lot of question marks on scheme. I think Josh Allen plays aggressively and it pays off. I think the Bills put 40 up in this game.
Which Josh Allen are you talking about?
If I'm not mistaken, the last time Josh Allen played Josh Allen, the defensive Josh Allen had a better game.
That was the 6-9 game, and again the Urban Meyer era.
So I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the Jags at home here in London.
I expected this. This is what I expected. Continue.
Yeah, I think that defensive Josh Allen has an issue with offensive Josh Allen getting all the hype, and he shows up for the game against his offensive counterpart there. I think the Jags can score points. I might be wrong on my Trevor Lawrence MVP pick. That's okay. That's fine. But what's it called? The Bills just lost Trey White, which sucks, and that's a super beat injury there, but it's a massive part of their offense and their defense. And I think that Calvin Ridley looked pretty good in the first week. He struggled with drops 2 weeks ago, and he looked okay in a minimal target share against the Falcons this week. He only really had one poor game. So I think he kind of bounces back. They still have a lot of weapons. I think Travis Etienne could be big in this game too. So I'm going to take the Jags by like a field goal, 2 points at most.
Blake, is Von Miller back this week?
I don't believe so.
What's your
question? Von Miller back this week?
I don't know the answer to that.
I feel that'd be like the first thing Blake would have said on the show. So
is Von Miller back this week?
Yes.
Okay. He is back practicing this week. I guess the silver lining of the Trey White injury is you move him to IR, and that pretty much just opens up the roster spot for Von Miller to be activated. It's not we don't even have to really cut. We don't have to not cut another player. A couple different things to talk about for this one. This might take me a little bit, but this game is going to be more difficult. This is going to be. I think that the Jags are not going to be an easy out here. I think that both teams are going to score some points in this. I like the Bills in like a 31-28 kind of game or like a 34-31 kind of game. But there's definitely something to the Josh Allen Bowl. I'm pretty sure in the last game he had like a few sacks, a forced fumble, an interception, and a fumble recovery. Like he was literally all over the field.
He shows up for that game.
Yeah,
it's in London too, so like that's the thing. Jacksonville plays well in London.
They have been there an extra week and are already adjusted to the time change. Our team's traveling on Thursday. The Jags have historically just been a tough out for us. Whether the team's good or bad, we've beaten. I remember us beating them once, and that was Josh Allen's rookie year. Shaq and we got lucky because Shaq lost and then Leonard Fournette got in a fight and they both got ejected, and Leonard Fournette had been running all over us in the first half and then he was gone, and so we ended up coming back and winning the game. I think that our wide receivers versus their defensive backs are just such a monumental mismatch. Stephon Diggs is playing out of his mind right now. He is on like demon time, and And just Stephon Diggs loves going to Europe. He was at Paris's Fashion Week this past summer, and I think that he is gonna love the international spotlight. And I think he's getting at least 2 touchdowns this week.
Okay.
What else? There's a couple other things. I could continue to talk about the Bills. It's fine. I can cut myself off there. You guys get the idea.
So we get that. We do have 14 other games, or I'm sorry, there's a few bye weeks, so
only 12 games to get through.
I was gonna say 12 more.
So this is the one. Play the clip.
Play the clip. All right, I'm playing the clip.
Patriots.
All right, Tyler, it's finally here. Saints versus Patriots. We've been looking forward to it all off season and all season. Quite possibly the most important week of our season as fans of our teams, because let's face it, our teams aren't looking too hot. The rest of the season might be pretty brutal for us. If you told me that the Texans would be more confident in their team than ours, I'd call you a liar. But here's the thing. We've got a bet that's been cooking up for months now. Haven't really brought it to the public eye. But now, today, we do. I know you have a nice jersey hanging in the back of your closet that you just refuse to bring out. So I said, Tyler, if the Saints come marching into Foxborough and hand the Patriots an L, you got to wear that jersey for the stream. And if the Saints lose, I have to wear a particular jersey. So let's make this bet official. Tyler, if the Patriots lose, you have to bust out the Cam Newton jersey and wear it on the next episode of Fifth Down Territory. And if my Saints lose this Sunday to the Patriots, I will buy a Mike Evans jersey and wear it in my next video. I'll see you on Sunday, Tyler.
So why did I get dragged into this? I didn't do anything.
I mean, but I don't know. I was feeling pretty confident about this matchup previously. But now that we don't have Matt Judon, and now that we don't have Christian Gonzalez, and Jonathan Jones might not play, and Cole Strange is out, and Marcus Jones tore his labrum, and Jack Jones is still dealing with whatever he's dealing with after they put him on IR. We're down to Miles Bryant being our number one cornerback, and I hate that dude more than anybody in football. I like straight up. The beat guys love to be like, oh, he's a good high IQ player. That dude sucks. He is bad. He is not good at football. He could probably beat me, and that's saying something. So the first thing they do against the Cowboys is just like match him up in press man coverage with no help against CeeDee Lamb. Lamb runs a straight fade, doesn't get touched, and is 3 feet behind him by the time you could blink your eye. Instant touchdown. So, yeah, not feeling great, even against one of the worst ranked offenses in the league in the Saints. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Saints here. I'm not picking the Pats again this week because I'll just have to wear the Cam Newton jersey. I'm not feeling good. Not feeling good. Can't run the ball. Can't throw the ball. Can't protect the ball. Don't have two of the best players on defense. Not going to be able to stop the ball from going in the end zone. What do you want me to do? It's the math ain't mathing for us right now. Somebody else can take it away.
Go ahead, Blake.
Speaking of math, do I still have the same line on that $10 bet that I placed a while ago?
Probably. Yeah, I'm not changing lines now. You placed the bet. The line doesn't change once the wager's in.
Yeah, I got the Saints in this one. The Pats look like they could be on Caleb Williams' time pretty soon here.
Bill won't draft him.
Yeah, maybe there's a nice offensive guard from a Division II school.
He's gonna draft a center out of like community college with like the third overall.
On centers, you might get the next Jason Kelsey
with the third overall pick in the draft.
Number too high. Jason Kelsey was like the 47th ranked player in the NFL going into the year. Like that's okay. Third overall pick to me. You can draft the top 50 player. You do it.
Yeah. That's how they felt when they drafted Cole Strange. All right. So Blake, you got the Saints as well. Louis, are you any different here? I don't think you will be, but
Nope.
we have to ask.
Actually, I was gonna pick the Patriots until you told me the Christian Gonzalez news, and now I'm 100% out. That secondary has so many question marks in it, and I just think Olave's been itching to get into the end zone. Even if Winston plays, I think this is that week. So I got the Saints here as well.
Jameis Winston came into Foxborough 2 years ago and whipped our ass. So
Jameis, same as Jameis, if he eats the dub before the game, that's lights out.
Slapping
bro.
dubs.
Eat the dub,
slapping dubs.
dance on your ACL-less leg right afterwards, and then head back to the bus, my man. Eat some crab legs on the bus. I love Jameis Winston, bro.
I'm gonna be wearing my freaking Cam Newton jersey for the rest
At
of
this point. If you're a Patriots fan, I think I'd rather wear a Cam Newton jersey right now than anybody else on that team.
Cam might finish his season with more wins than Mac this year. We'll see.
Yeah, it was you that tagged me in that Twitter post that said the Pats played better with Cam Newton than Mac Jones, and you're freaking right. It's sad. I'm saddened. But yeah, we can move on from that. Like I could rant about this for a while, but that's for the Gillette Gazette guys.
The Malik Cunningham resurgence, brethren.
Uh-oh.
All right. Next is Titans Colts. And I'll go first here because I don't think it's fair for me to always go after Blake. Copy those picks, flow for flow and bar for bar. At this point, I think I'm going with the Colts. I think I trust Shane Steichen to have Vrabel's number more than I trust Vrabel to have Steichen's number. And I don't know how to say this, but I just have this gut feeling that the Titans are not playing mobile QBs well this year. So, and Anthony Richardson is the definition of a mobile QB. So I'm taking the Colts here. I took them last week against the Rams. Bet almost paid off. So here I'm going to go Colts again over a division rival.
Go for it, Blake.
Yeah, Colts as well for me. Yeah, last week I only missed 2 games. The Titans win was one of them against the Bengals, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, like I'm okay, and that's probably going to be my MO in the coming weeks. I will lose games I will miss games that the Titans win, and I will miss games that the Bengals lose because I just those are 2 teams that I just can't trust to continue playing like the football that they have been. Yeah, that win against the Ravens was massive for the Colts. That's a huge rivalry that people don't always talk about. But City of Baltimore hates the Colts. They went into Baltimore and got the win. That says something. And the Colts are gonna be a tough out for teams like I feel like they're gonna be a team that kind of like plays to the level of their competition. They might not beat like those top teams, but I think that they're gonna beat this Titans team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts here as well. I think Anthony Richardson's a true dual threat. He might not be the most accurate quarterback out there, but he's dangerous. He's explosive. Shane Steichen seems to know what to do with him, and you really got to watch out for him. Also, Jonathan Taylor might be back in this game. Jonathan Taylor's back in this game, and they have Taylor and AR, and you got Pittman in there. Not Paris Campbell. Josh Downs looks pretty good. They got an assortment of random tight ends who seem to just be catching the football. So Mo Alley Cox is gigantor. But yeah, yes, he's a walking refrigerator.
Big old boy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. But yeah, I'm taking the Colts too. I mean, you gotta give the Titans credit for going out there and beating what we think is a good team in the Bengals, but the offensive line is not very good, and I think the Colts have a much better offensive line, so that their pass rush won't be able to get there. They were blitzing a lot against Joe Burrow and the Bengals as well. If you're blitzing against Anthony Richardson like at that rate, I don't think it's going to work out for you, because if you miss one of those blitz packages, like he could just take off. And you got to give them a lot of credit for coming back down 23-0 against the Rams there. Just that those are things that I just didn't think that they had in their repertoire. So gotta give the Colts credit there.
You got to give Anthony Richardson credit for staying healthy for a full game in the NFL. That's crazy.
This is true. This is true. I mean, I hope he stays healthy for much longer because he's an exciting player to watch. But yeah, we can move on to the next game.
The year the Texans get a franchise quarterback, so do the Colts. Break that.
It's ridiculous.
Well, the Titans are sitting down there at the bottom.
What's the next game?
Next game is Panthers against somebody that's going to win. Lions. Panthers, Lions. Let's talk that one next.
Aiden Hutchinson's going to just feast in this game. I don't think Bryce Young's like really any good, personally. Ooh. I thought he had I don't think he's any good.
That is a spicy take.
I think that he is Kyler Murray, but like less accurate. So and he already had an ankle injury. He doesn't have a great offensive line. They got 33-year-old Adam Thielen out there catching footballs. And anytime there's any sort of pressure on a big passing down, he just doesn't get it done. He's averaging also like 3 yards per ADOT. So like he's like not even getting the ball past like 5 yards down the field when he's throwing the football. So everything's catch and run. The Lions have a good defense. So yeah, Lions for me.
Yeah, this Lions defense has been pretty good to start the year. I don't know. What do you say good about this Panthers team right now?
Adam Thielen.
Yeah, like I don't know.
About this Panthers team. Brian Burns. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Still think you should have traded him for 2 first-round picks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
From the Rams, which would have been pretty good picks too. But I got the Lions here. I got the Lions as a team that's going to win their division. If you're going to be a playoff team this year, these are the games that you win, the ones that you're supposed to win. And I think they do that by at least 2 possessions here.
Yeah, I have the Lions as well, but I'm going to rebuttal this Bryce Young is bad take.
It's a little early to say that.
I think it's early, and I think you see the very obvious disconnect between him and Frank Reich. There's like all these designed bubble screens that haven't worked since CMC was in this building, and you see Young like drop back, which he's not dropping back with urgency, which is also weird to me. Like when you look at CJ Stroud or any of these other guys from this draft class, like they really push off that front foot and they drop back really quick so they can get into their reads. It doesn't feel like he's bought into the offensive system. Like it's not designed to his strengths. So, which is just, I think, a huge miss. I think this season is going to cost every single front office member their job. I don't think Tepper's going to stand for this crap. I do have the Lions, but I think Bryce Young is trying his best. You know, I think this is clearly the worst offensive roster in the league. Like, say what you want about the Texans preseason. I do think the Texans roster is better than the Panthers.
I'd rather have Adam Thielen than any of the junk that the Patriots got cooking on right now.
That's true. You guys have Ramondre Stevenson, though,
who hasn't played well at all this year.
Really?
No, not good.
Not good. All right, so Lions sweep. Next, I feel like is another sweep for most of us. Ravens Steelers. Fire Matt Canada. For all my Steelers, for anyone watching out there, we're with you. Fire Matt Canada.
All that Steelers preseason hype, not looking too great. I don't know. I mean the year the Lions went 0-16, they went 4-0 in the preseason. So I think that this has got to be a lesson to all of us to like when we're starved for football, to not overanalyze every single thing that's happening. I'm sure we'll learn from this lesson next year.
Nope.
But yeah, Ravens, right? I feel like the Ravens are one of the top 3 teams in the AFC right now, and I could not say the same about the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens here as well. The Steelers just looks uninspired. Like offensively, Yes. And no Kenny Pickett means they're rolling out Trubisky this week against a good Ravens defense. No, there's going to be a defensive touchdown, multiple 3-and-outs. Like, just give me the Ravens by whatever line you want to set.
It's 4.5 right now on FanDuel. 4.5. Smash that on the Ravens side. Yeah. I'd take the under as well. The Ravens are going to cook them. Honestly, all of the betting metrics and a bunch of trends point to the Steelers as the play here, but screw that. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna look and see what I've seen with my eyeballs and go with that, because like,
without your starting quarterback, without possibly your starting tight end, you're still missing your wide receiver 1. Your O-line looks terrible.
And your offensive play caller sucks. You can't get
your
things
play caller sucks. Patrick Peterson looks like my grandma trying to find her way out of the bathroom. Can't find the doorknob.
Don't be mean to your grandma like that.
My grandma has dementia, so she's not even going to remember that joke.
Okay.
But yeah, it just like I watched every snap of that game 3 times already. It's Tuesday. I am a degenerate. I am okay with it.
You should.
The Steelers won. Like, the defense I felt was really well schemed for, but that secondary is not good outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, it's just not. Like, Joey Porter Jr.'s okay. I feel like he makes a lot of rookie mistakes. Like, he jumps routes really early, but Patrick Peterson is just like doing cardio. He's not doing anything else. Like, not get his hands up right. Like, there's that one play where it looked like his controller glitched. He just puts his arms up and the ball's like over here. You're not going to be able to fix all of that. Like, it's going to be a bad year for them. All right, so everybody took the Ravens there. All right, now for
look at JC's hashtag real quick.
Burn Canada.
Yeah, you gotta put that in context.
No,
if you're posting
that. You can't use that.
Canceled.
Canadians don't deserve it.
Just like
the Mounties would come and get you.
Just like that Stadium Rant has been shadow banned in Canada.
Our brothers to the north.
We don't get a lot of views up there. It's cool.
Look, at least our football team doesn't have onside punts. So say whatever you want. Dumbest play I've ever seen. All right, time for the game of the week, everybody. Texans Falcons. I'm smashing my down, tripling down. Texans over Falcons. Desmond Ridder throws 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm on Houston here as well. I like a lot of the things that they did on defense. They also overcame a very solid front 7, even with issues on the front line or on their line. CJ Stroud just looks like that dude. He's who the Panthers should have taken.
Him.
I thought that the entire way through the draft season, during the draft, after the draft, and I'm still going to continue it for both of their careers. I don't give a damn about the S2 Wonder Luck test. Don't care. CJ Stroud's that dude, and he has some competent, if not explosive, weapons to throw to as well. And Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and then you got Old Reliable and Robert Woods and Damian Pierce, a good running back. So I also think D'Amico Ryans really gave this team a full boost, like as an overall makeup change. Just coming in there, fresh energy, young vibe, like real actual like mentor, rah, like get you guys up type of dude. So yeah, I'm taking the Texans here, but I do think that Bijan gets the ball force fed to him, and it's going to be a tighter game. And he might run all over you, but they're still not going to win.
I love Mufasa. He's been doing great stuff in Houston. Yeah, and just to give you guys like team-centric context, right? Because we love bias here on Fifth Down territory.
Yeah,
Larry Tunsil's going to be back. Titus Howard's going to be back. Juice Scruggs is going to be back. Tavier Thomas is going to be back. Denzel Perriman is supposed to be back. So 5 starters coming back in for a team that's already been juicing. It's Cordero season. Yeah, sure.
Get that dude off the field. He's 35.
Let my man's rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let Bijan cook. Jesus. Sorry. Okay. Bahookie,
All right.
pick the game.
Yeah, looks like we have another sweep here. I'm going with the Texans. They could have I could have been 15-1, but I didn't want to listen to Louie, and I'm going to listen to Louie this week. I do like the fact I don't know how to feel about the Falcons right now, because I felt like preseason I kind of liked what they were doing and whatnot, but I actually I watched pretty much that entire game, the London game in the morning until I had to leave. I went over to my buddy's house to watch the Bills Dolphins game, so I missed like the fourth quarter, but they just looked bad. The Falcons, I don't know that they I will say for all the touches that Algier gets, they do when he's is their tailback. A lot of the times they're using Bijan as like a wing back and putting him in motion, kind of like what the Dolphins and the Niners are doing. So I feel like they still have room to grow. And I like seeing Desmond Ritter's game in college. Like, I'm a USF guy, USF 2-2 now. We always played again. We played Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was really strong. He took them to the college football playoff, and I thought that he was actually going to be like a pretty good sleeper quarterback. We'll see what this next week brings. But yeah, he's got to have a good game to really kind of get me to buy back into what the Falcons are doing. So I got the Texans in this one.
He looked unserviceable on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like
Really
some of
bad.
the worst picks
Really bad.
I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to leave that one. You're not even playing that tape back. There's no tape happening for the Falcons this week. They're just like, we're not looking at that game film. Burn it. Burn the ships. We got to move on. Yeah, if the Texans win on Sunday, it'll be their first winning record since 2021.
Deshaun Watson era.
Yep. So,
all right. Did you want to say one more thing?
Nope.
Okay,
that's
cool.
it.
I see.
Giants Dolphins. What do you feel?
This clean sweep here.
Yeah. How can you pick the Giants after being forced to watch what we were forced to watch yesterday?
Short week, playing against a team that just dropped 70 on a really bad team.
And it's,
they got punched in the mouth too by the Bills, so they're gonna come out pissed. Like Tyreek Hill might go for 300 on that team.
It's hard to play in that stadium for 1 p.m. games. The way it's designed, I'm pretty sure you guys already know, but the stadium, the sun shines on the away sideline. It's like 30 degrees hotter than what the shade that the home team is, especially in like September, October.
Brian Daboll might melt.
They're literally going to be frying eggs on that sideline.
right on his head.
Yeah.
Sizzle pot.
So by the third, fourth quarter, like the team is just, they have heat stroke pretty much. I think that has a lot to do with why the Dolphins put up so much on possibly the worst defense in the NFL that we've seen in some time. I think that I don't know what the spread is here, but you cannot give Miami enough points here. This is the blowout game. Like, Miami is probably going to win this game by three possessions, and that's like on the low end.
15.9, and I would probably look at it and be like, I feel like I could still bet this.
You want to know what the parlay is for that game? Daniel Jones over a half interception, Miami defensive touchdown, and then Miami over 5.5 sacks. Take it.
On that.
The defensive touchdown's the hardest part of those three, but it's still, I would say, I mean, you probably get.
It'll be a fumble, scoop, and score by Bradley Chubb, or maybe
that'll be high. Yeah,
or something. It's not a pick six, but it's a fumble. Like Daniel, when Evan Neal literally lays down on his own because he overextended and back swatted into like 2026 by Bradley Chubb.
Bad, dude. I don't know. Have you ever I don't remember seeing an offensive line that's just like so jump off the screen bad.
What happened to Andrew Thomas?
He wasn't playing.
He hasn't. He's been out for
a couple. That was their replacement left tackle, whoever 75 was, who was just a turnstile. Like honestly, you might be better off not even having that dude out there and play with 4 offensive linemen.
A human turnip. You could put an actual turnip on the field and tell them, like, at least that might trip somebody.
Oh man, that pick 6 though, guys, was one of the worst pick 6s I've ever seen in my life. If he waits
that
2
one
seconds,
was on Daniel Jones, but
yeah,
all of the sacks and hits he took, like, attributed to that.
oh yeah,
was like him putting the ball. He stared down a guy and put the ball out before he, like. I make the same mistake in Madden sometimes when you're a little too excited to throw it to a guy before he makes the break on his route. And but the ball was like. Oh,
he was
like
running a zig route and he literally was hitting his turnaround, and before he flipped to the other side, the ball was out and picked off already.
That's
Bad play.
anticipation on, like, the wrong side.
We spent enough time on this game, honestly.
We got any letters, that's like so many A's, it becomes a different letter.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next on the slate? We all got
Bengals Cardinals. I'm gonna go first here. I'm taking the upset. Give me fire all the Gannons. Right, Jonathan Gannon's gonna have these boys coming out.
It's not that bad pick.
He's gonna look at that blitz percentage that the Titans put up, and he's gonna say, "I can do that." And
I'm not gonna take the Cardinals here, honestly. Like, it's really like not that bad of a pick. They're at home. Bengals have just looked so bad. And the reason I'm picking the Bengals is because I just don't expect the Bengals and Joe Burrow to make things that easy for Buffalo right now. I still think that they're going to be a team that's going to be around at the end of the year, and maybe in 2 or 3 weeks they will have played themselves out of that. But I just know the quality that this team has, and I know and I feel like their floor should be higher than the Cardinals' ceiling. Maybe I'm wrong about that, and we'll find out. But if the Cardinals do pull this off this week, then I might have to change my tune and start picking against the Bengals. But I'm still with the Bengals in spite of everything that we have seen.
I think I'm gonna side with Louie on this one. I think Jonathan Gannon might be like another Dan Campbell type. Because remember when Dan Campbell first got there and the Lions were like wicked plucky and they just didn't really have the talent, but they were always overachieving. I don't know. I don't like where the Bengals are at. I like what I've seen from Josh Dobbs. I like what I've seen from the defense on the Cardinals, who really doesn't have a standout name on it. But they're all playing better than what they are. Their sum is better than their parts, and I think that like Jonathan Gannon might just be that rah guy. You know what I mean? Like again, a D'Amico Ryans type, a Dan Campbell type, who just gets the most out of his players. And right now, it doesn't seem like Zach Taylor's getting the most out of his team. So give me the Cardinals on that one.
It is September. Oh, it's October now.
Yep. Oh, nice, JC.
I know what month it is. It's October, which means it's officially Harry Potter month. So I want to see somebody Photoshop Joshua Dobbs onto a Dobby meme somewhere.
It looks more like Voldemort, though.
That's facts. Just give me a whole Harry Potter suite of memes about Dobbs when he sweeps when he crushes the Bengals this Sunday.
Crush
all right.
How much are they going to crush him by, Louie?
I've got him by a full touchdown here.
I'm gonna take like a last second field goal. Like it's gonna be a tight game, and the Bengals are just gonna falter. But
I think they get an early lead, and then James Conner just grinds this game out.
I'm gonna say like 28-24 Bengals.
Okay.
All right. JC's working on the Harry Potter memes.
Nice.
All right. Sorry, we got to keep rolling here. Jets Broncos. Yeah. I'm taking Jets in this one. I think the Broncos look bad. And I think somehow Sean Payton is deflating the value of everybody on the Broncos. And I think that Jets defense carries a win here. So give me Jets.
And Sean Payton gave them all that bulletin board material. And I wish Aaron Rodgers was on the field for this, because Aaron Rodgers would really, really go in for this one. Fortunately, that's not the case. And yeah, the Jets, I don't know. They didn't look completely terrible against Kansas City this past Sunday night. The game turned out to be a lot better than what I was anticipating, and yeah, I feel like the Jets are going to be very prepared for this game.
So could I just commit Sepugin instead of watching this game?
Yes, you can choose
Like-
to watch Chiefs Vikings.
Ugh. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Broncos here. I still don't trust Zach Wilson. Though he had a couple of nice drives, ended up losing the game for his team anyway. Give me Zach Wilson. Or give me Russell Wilson to kind of pull this one out.
The Wilson.
The Wilson v. Wilson Bowl that nobody wants to watch. Let's just discard the rest of that game unless you had something else to say.
No, I was going to say give me Aaron Rodgers in a wheelchair with a T-shirt cannon that shoots footballs. Take the Jets by a million.
As he's taking ayahuasca.
I'm sure they got some good stuff out in Denver.
All right. Chiefs, Vikings, taking Chiefs. I think the Vikings continue sliding here. They got a much-needed dub, but they don't look great. So if the Panthers can put up points on them, give me the Chiefs.
Yeah. Give me the Chiefs here. Minnesota's is about as fraudulent as they come. They had a chance to win the fraudulent bowl, but they couldn't get a play call in when they ran up to the line and took 15 seconds off the board and boofed that anyway. And they almost lost to a horrible Panthers team. Kirk Cousins was doing everything he could to give that game away. So yeah, give me the Chiefs here, and it's not particularly close.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's only like they're only like -5 right if we're in this game, which I thought was kind of weird. But yeah, this Viking secondary just makes bad receiving cores look good. So I think, and that's what it's starting to look like the Chiefs have. So I think that this is a really good opportunity for them to get their offense out of second gear, where I feel like it's kind of been sputtering. And I think that now that we're out of September, we're gonna start to see the Chiefs look like the Chiefs. And yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs by at least 2 possessions here.
Okay. All right, clean sweep on that one.
We're going to skip the Sunday night feature for the last one so we can talk about it as much as we want. Skipping to the Monday night game, Packers-Raiders. I'm taking the Packers here. Aiden O'Connell did not look as good as I wanted. Josh Jacobs is looking better, but I still just feel like this team is kind of in shambles, no identity. Give me the Packers on a revenge game. Like just losing last week.
Copy Louie word for word and bar for bar here. Yeah, I don't know how to get behind the Raiders team. I just they're in the Caleb Williams Bowl here. See if Devontae Adams becomes available at the trade deadline, because he looks like he's about had it. Yeah, this Packers team is still somewhat competent here, and that's a lot more than I can say about the Raiders.
I like a lot of the things that the Packers are doing. I think they have 3 really talented young wide receivers. They still have Aaron Jones. Their offensive line's a little banged up, but for the most part, I've liked a lot of the things I've seen from Jordan Love. He looks like he can be the next guy in Green Bay. I'm pretty sure this is this a home game? No, this is an away game for them.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's played better away from Lambeau than he's played at Lambeau this season, so that's another little wrinkle in that. I like Aiden O'Connell, but that offensive line isn't good. He's not that mobile, and they just got more issues over there in Raiderland. So yeah, give me the Packers on that.
Your line for this week is over or under 0.5 Quay Walker getting ejected for hurting an innocent bystander. So
I wish he got ejected earlier in last game. I play in an IDP league where he had 17 tackles. I'm just sitting there like, man. We'll lose because Quay Walker had 20 tackles. That's not what I want to do. So
So everybody take the Packers there.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of sweeps in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's
we
not a lot. Not a lot of
Eagles
stuff.
Rams. We gotta go back. We didn't talk Eagles Rams, so we gotta buzz through these last two games. 2.5 minutes apiece. I'm taking Rams upset in this one. I think the Eagles have looked kind of iffy. I play in this 3-0 streak to end at some point, like undefeated. I think this is their first real chance, and I think Sean McVay is going to come out swinging. If Cooper Kupp plays, which they designated him for return, I think Nolan told us that.
That's a big question right there.
So
Is
that
Cooper Kupp playing?
if Kupp plays, I have the Rams in this one. But if he doesn't, I'm sticking to my guns, still taking the Rams in this one, just by a lot less.
I wish I went first on this one. I'm picking the Rams too, because honestly, I was one of the people talking shit about the Rams most of the offseason, and Sean McVay just came and took it and shoved it down my throat. So I'm all set with talking shit against Sean McVay, his scheme, his players. They're really good. They're not really good, but they are very serviceable players, and he has a really good scheme. And it's hard to win every game you play in the NFL. Like the Washington Commanders just took them to overtime. Granted, the Commanders play them pretty well when they play them, but I think the Rams and McVay get the win here. What do you think, Blake?
Yeah, I don't know about Cooper Kupp, man, and that's like really a guy who like changes the game. I don't know.
Puka Nacua.
What's up?
It's Puka Nacua, baby. It's Puka Nacua season.
They have Puka, but if you add Cooper Kupp, you become a team with like 2 wide receiver ones, and that offense really takes another step. And honestly, in a way, it's been kind of good for them, to kind of get Puka involved early, and because we already know who Cooper Kupp is. I'm still gonna go with the Eagles here. I predicted that the Eagles would be the last team to lose. They will be the team to go undefeated the longest, but that is going to change when they get into that run of really difficult teams. It starts with Miami, I want to say, in 2 more weeks. So I am going to stick with the Eagles here, and I do think the Rams will make this into a good game, and the Eagles will continue to do what they have done and find a way to win, whether it's pretty or not. Maybe a tush push for a first down or goal line touchdown or 2.
Sorry, JC. You guys look good, but not all great things come to an end. No undefeated teams.
It's okay to lose a game in the regular season. It's okay. I'd rather lose one in the regular season than be the 07 Pats and lose the Super Bowl.
I mean, technically, you're losing all the games in the regular season, so wish great.
Yeah, we are. I hope Bill Belichick isn't making the pick when we roll up to the podium next year. Anyway, enough about that. Last game on the slate.
Last one, 49ers Cowboys. I think this is the hardest pick of the week, but
who's home?
Gosh, I love Shanahan, so give me the Niners by 2.
Who's home?
I want to say this is at Niners. It is at Niners.
Yeah, give me the 49ers here by 10.
Wow.
I honestly they lost Trayvon Diggs. Their offensive line's banged up. They just beat up on a bad Patriots team to get themselves hyped up. This is not a bad Patriots team they're going to play. This might be the best team in the National Football League. Christian McCaffrey is eating up. Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk might be the best wide receiver tandem nobody wants to talk about. They're not even really using George Kittle that much. They also have a really great offensive line. Trent Williams versus Micah Parsons. That's not a wash, but that's a containable type of game for him.
I think they'll line Parsons up on the right side or the left side for him, away from Trent Williams.
That makes more sense. But I don't know. I'm taking the 49ers here. I don't think Mike McCarthy is a very good head coach either. So, yeah, all signs for me point to the 49ers for me. Bahookie?
Yeah. I've been thinking 49ers all day. And then in the last hour, I've been thinking this is my NFC Championship game pick, and I know that when it really comes down to it, the Cowboys definitely will not win. But I don't know how likely it is that the 49ers beat them twice in the season. And I feel like this is a spot where it's like early in the season, and I could see Dallas pulling one out and then having a reason to feel all good about themselves and talk a bunch all season to get their hopes up even more. And we've had way too many picks in common this week, so I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Thank you.
Word.
Give me some chance to come back. All right, guys. That is it for us here at Fit Down Territory, right on the hour mark. Suck on that, JC. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in.